Welcome to the Ecotechie. In today's video, we are going to look at an economic concept which is none other than utility. Utility forms a basis for many other economic concepts, and it is very important to understand what exactly this utility is. Without further ado, let's jump into understanding utility and its features. According to Joanne Robinson, utility is a metaphysical concept of impregnable circularity. Utility is the quality in commodities that makes individuals want to buy them. And the fact that individuals want to buy commodity show that they have utility. In layman's term, utility is nothing but the want satisfying power of the commodity. Now let us look at the features of utility. Utility is subjective in nature. The word subjective clearly indicates that it's not going to be the same for everyone. Utility changes from person to person. For example, the utility derived from a Coke can for a teenager would be totally different from a middle-aged person. It depends upon your tastes and preferences, it depends upon your age, your income, your social status, so on and so forth. And hence you cannot assign cardinal numbers to it. Although Alfred Marshall has assigned cardinal numbers to utility, but we normally cannot assign cardinal numbers to utility. We can rank utilities, but we cannot assign cardinal numbers to utility. Now let us look at the next feature. Utility is a relative concept. Utility is time relative. For example, you use an umbrella only in the monsoons. You do not use it in the winter or in the summer. In winter or summer, the utility derived from this umbrella would be lower, which shows that the utility for umbrella is time based. Next, we have utility which is relative to places. For example, woolen clothes are required in Himalayas or Alps, but woolen clothes are not required in Mumbai. So over here you have something known as place utility. Now let us look at the next feature. Utility does not have any ethical consideration. The classic example is of a knife. This knife is used by a chef in the kitchen to chop vegetables. At the same time, this knife has been used by a murderer to kill somebody. In both the cases, you have utility. There is nothing called good utility and bad utility. Only there is utility, and this knife has utility for a chef and a murderer. So, utility does not have any ethical consideration. Utility is different from usefulness. Suppose we have burgers in front of us and we have Coke in front of us. We are happy after having a burger, having a Coke. But do you think the burger and Coke had any useful properties for us? No. On the contrary, burgers and Coke are harmful to our health. So many times those goods which are not useful for us also give us utility. For example, cigarettes. They are bad for our health, but we feel satisfied after having a puff of cigarette. Now let us look at the next feature. Utility is different from pleasure. For example, we do not like having bitter medicines. But these bitter medicines have utility. It cures us. We do not like injections. They are painful. Although they are painful, they have some utility for us. So, utility is way different from pleasure, way different from usefulness. And utility depends on the intensity of wants. Now, depending on the intensity of wants of different people, utility is going to change. For example, for a person living in Alps or in the Himalayas, the utility for these woolen clothes would be very high. While at the same time, for a person living in a Sahara desert, there is zero or no utility for these woolen clothes. Utility is the foundation for demand theory. If we have some utility which is derived from certain product, only will then there be a demand for that product. If we do not have any utility for a product, nobody is going to demand that product. So underlying the demand theory is nothing but the utility theory. Utility is intangible, which means that utility is not a physical product that you can go and touch and see, but it is something that we derive after consumption of a product. Utility is multi-purpose. Certain products have multi-purpose utility. The classic example is none other than salt. Salt is used in cooking. At the same time, it's used as a preservative while making pickles. Similarly, we have sugar, which acts as a sweetener but acts as a preservative for jams. I hope the idea of utility and its feature is clear for one and all. If you have any queries, kindly post it in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.